email marketing manager.
Great to meet you.
Hello, I'm Janelle Kunst, the VP of Marketing for Bloomreach.
What's Bloomreach?
I'm so glad you asked. I'm sure everyone wants to know. So Bloomreach is an e-commerce experience. It incorporates site search, merchandising, marketing automation, content. We do a lot of things. We work with a lot of brands and retailers. So excited to be with our customer living spaces.
No, when we had our conversation the other day, I was like, I lost my mind because you shared with me, you're like, yeah, I'm not like a super seasoned person in this space. How did you get started on this, and how big is the team right now?
So I've been at Living Spaces for 6 years. I started as a digital marketing coordinator, moved into the development team for web development, and I was a QA analyst, and my boss basically groomed me to become an email marketing manager. So with my background of QA and like knowing our customer base and what they need, I was able to really create some nicely tuned emails for our customer base.
Interesting. So how big's the team? What's the team?
So there's only me and one other person. So I have a junior analyst, and there's me, and we run email and SMS for Living Spaces, which is a pretty big national brand.
For everything?
Yeah, all Living Spaces, everything. Post-purchase things are on the dev side, but yes.
How is this?
All marketing.
How is this even possible?
Well, through Bloomreach.
I know.
Yeah, so we run more than 500 evergreen active emails that send every single day to our customer base. And with the power of Bloomreach, we're able to personalize and segment into it. So all of those emails are based on what the people are doing on our website.
Right. What is an active normal amount of campaigns that you just run?
Like every single day, all of those 500 emails are sending to the different types of people who are looking at those types of products. So like a clearance sofas page goes to anyone who's shopping for a clearance sofa.
This is incredible. We had an earlier conversation around if a user lands on a specific site or lands on a specific type of, let's say, couches.
Yeah.
How many sequences or how many emails are getting in that?
There's like endless emails. Like couches are obviously one of the biggest things we sell. So I have 40 emails ready for them to receive every single day until they don't want to shop for couches anymore.
This is crazy. What tools on the Bloomreach side of things?
So this would be our engagement platform, which is marketing automation. So it's underpinned with AI, which is part of what we're talking about. We see a lot of our customers need to do more with less. And so with the power of Lumi, which is our sort of AI technology, you have the capability to do segmentation, personalization, contextual personalization. So the goal is really to help brands do more with less. And we find that there's not a lot of unlimited budget for resources, budget, headcount. So it's enabling them to do as much as they can.
And what's great is that we can use it at any level we want. So if I'm a beginner, we launched our SMS program in March of this year, and it's huge already, but there's plug and play. They have all kinds of features, and you can build it out however you want to, or you can use what they have and run with it.
The thing for me is like when everyone talks about you have AI, like AI is helping, is this like, what is it doing? What is it actually doing on the website?
So it's not really running on the website, right? The benefit of our AI is that it's something that was built into our platforms. Like we've had patents for AI this entire time.
Okay.
Now everyone's, I think, understanding what it is. So it's essentially shortcutting things that you would have to hire headcount for. It's automating processes. So if you have a marketing team that needs to pull certain segments and you're downloading data into a spreadsheet and porting it over to different systems, our AI shortcuts that. So
yeah, I wasn't even aware that we were using AI through Bloomreach, but it's all on their end. So I know now that we already are.
Well, so yeah. Because of how many SKUs you have and how oftentimes new products come live, yeah. What element is being used?
So it's essentially like the data warehouse that Living Spaces has is prospect or customer and product data, yeah. Right? So if you think about the combination of product and prospect, it's not just like a CRM. You're basically able to take all of the data and you're able to understand all the products they're interacting with, and you can build segments off of that. So it's a deeper layer of personalization.
Would I use this if I had low SKUs?
Yeah, you would use the engagement part of it, yes. We find that it's really dependent on the level of sophistication that the marketer is interested in. I think if you're looking at our site search tool, then I'd kind of want to measure the amount of SKUs you have, because it's how much you want to boost products and et cetera, et cetera. So it depends on what product you're looking at.
So in Living Spaces, if I went in and I just started typing a couple of words specifically, and I've never been on the site before, what is it pulling in recommendations? Most searched?
There's general recommendations that are just like the most popular items that float to the top. So now we're working with other vendors to provide other services. So we use what is it, the feature where like you see how many people are shopping on their website, how many people have added this to cart, or how many people have this is a top selling item. So with that, we're able to confirm that Bloomreach is able to serve the best products at the top of the page. So like they'll additionally show us that Bloomreach is already doing a good job of serving the correct products.
What other sites right now are using Bloom that we can go to and be like, that suggestive search is incredible?
Sur La Table is a customer, so you could go and search on that website and see what product recommendations show up. That's one example. Williams Sonoma.
And we've also seen AI not just recommend what to search, but also it fills in and does the rest of the content for you. Is that something you guys are leveraging, AI, to have the content kind of fulfilled on the emails that are being sent?
Yeah, we use the product recommendations, which are powered with AI too, right? So the product recommendations are based on whatever the email is, and they'll power it with whatever the product, the best, most likely purchased product for that customer.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few different levels to AI, right? There's like the content creation, and there's like dynamic content. Then there's the serving up of the content. So you would think of Bloomreach as serving up the content.
How do you think AI is going to be kind of evolving in our space? And then I'm going to ask, how is AI evolving in living spaces? Go ahead, yeah.
First?
Pop off.
At Living Spaces, well, AI is evolving on our team like crazy. We're the e-commerce team, so we're using it for all kinds of things like lengthening our product titles, shortening our product titles for email, all kinds of things, just pulling up reviews that are specific for customers, what they're looking for, the type of language that we're creating for our emails, all kinds of content, even generative AI for product photos and lifestyle photos. So there's just a ton of use cases for AI.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for e-com, you're thinking about efficiencies really with AI. So efficiencies in headcount, efficiencies in budget, efficiencies in getting to the customer. So I mean, I guess personally what I would like to see is efficiency in insights. I spend a lot of time, marketers spend a lot of time, e-com professionals spend a lot of time understanding the customer, understanding what's happening, understanding the journey. By the time you get the journey, it's shifted. So I believe and I hope and I'm excited for like a shortcut to that. I think that's where AI is gonna develop to the point where it's instead of us having to understand what to go look for, it's served up to us and then we can act on it instead of spending our time digging in.
Yeah, definitely. We use all of the reporting and analytics that we can. The dashboard creation in Bloomreach is fantastic. So I'm able to analyze everything at a broader level, and that's able to help me understand which areas of the customer journey need to be addressed.
What is like a normal routine for you when you log in? What are you looking at?
What do you do all day?
There's so much to see. I'm also a mom of 3 kids, so don't even tell me. My day starts way before my work day. But yes, I would say I'm looking at a lot of dashboards. I'm taking a look at data, trends, seeing how things are performing, seeing if there's any alterations that need to be made. I have a ton of meetings just like everybody else. There's a lot to do, a lot of projects.
There was a couple email marketers that they swear they're so convinced that us as email marketers won't write any copy, won't make any images, won't do anything other than analyze, approve, and hit send. Is this a future you see?
Well, I mean, there's only 2 people on my team, so there's enough to go around. Work for us everywhere. So I mean, yes, I don't send anything daily. We have everything automated. We have processes in place. So like, if I were to die or get in a car accident, Living Spaces would be sending product emails with fresh product like until the end of time. Like they don't need me, but like I make it better. So
you have to say that. You have to say that. Yo, what's your opinion on that? Where do you think how much AI is too much AI?
I mean, I think it's maybe more around like, where are you using AI? I think some of the interesting conversations around like, how do you maintain your brand voice and benefit from AI? Like how, if we only need 2 email marketers to send out 500 campaigns, what's the benefit of those emails? Because think of how many emails are now going out. So I don't know that there's a limit to how much AI, but I think that there's like some strategic thinking around how you're using it and how you're improving the customer journey instead of just more.
Well, because you usually assume AI to help smaller teams move quicker, which is that. But then you look at living spaces as a whole, it's a big company that probably had to have a lot of signups on this. Where's my data? Who's holding my data? Are those real conversations that you have to have before you onboard at any size?
Yeah, I mean, you have to really take the human touch to understand what's going on, right? Like, you can't just let a robot tell you, hey, this is what's missing. You have to be like, how would I feel if I was the customer? Put yourself in the customer's shoes and really analyze it and notice what's missing. Like, what's the next step to get someone to purchase? Like, someone's looking at a sofa for 3 days every single day. They're kind of in love with that sofa. What's holding them back? You have to think about it. You can't just like let someone take it over. But you can have options with AI to help you generate that copy, generate that content that will help you them push over the edge. So you need the human element and the AI element.
Was there a time where you're like, okay, robot says this, and robot was wrong?
We A/B test everything. We would never just like go ahead and trust and like move forward with something. We have to A/B test it and see that it's proven and it works.
What are some things that brands do that just like they completely get that wrong? Like with AI, like, okay, I got AI, now it's gonna do everything for me.
I don't know that I've seen anyone do anything wrong, but I think that there's a lot in site search there's a lot of testing because we do have an algorithm that boosts certain products, and I think there's merchandisers that want to be in control more there. And so there's like levels of how much they manipulate site search versus how much they hand over to like the algorithm that we have. So
okay, stick with me on this one because that was my next question. Is like you're in charge of selling product mainly through retention efforts, but then you have the merchandisers, you have the product development, and you have acquisition team. But you're kind of using a tool that manipulates what happens once they hit site. What is this dialogue internally, and who are you talking to?
I don't know. You know what? Me and my teammate, we're just looking at everything. There's a lot to think about and a lot to discuss, a lot to test. There's a lot of data to analyze. We're spread thin in a lot of ways, but we make it work.
I feel it.
I mean, I wonder if that's maybe the point of like efficiencies in AI too, because there's always going to be people doing different things, and there's always going to be meetings, and there's always going to be this sort of like sacrifice internally. So sometimes like the people that can best leverage the AI are the ones that are going to maybe like control the conversation. I think that's another way to think about it, right? Like if you're a merchandiser and you can work with AI and it's boosting the right products and you're seeing the return, you're not going to let anyone else tell you what to do. Like you've done it.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting, I think, developments.
Yeah, I mean, I think every day is different, right? Like we onboard new products, we onboard all these things, and we're seeing just different ways that things can get messed up. But if you keep the human element and we keep on taking a look at things and be like, hey, is this really the way we should do it? We'll stay grounded.
Is there ever a time where you look at it and you go, you were recommending me to do one specific thing and I'm choosing to do the complete opposite? Has it happened? Any scenarios?
I mean, like we have designers who are very like, strong-minded. So if our designers say this is not right and this is what AI says we should do, they're gonna say no, like this is what looks good, this is what appeals to our customer base. They'll go a different way. And our copywriter is the same way.
How do you navigate that? Like that's gonna happen all the time. It's product versus like machine.
I mean, I think that's where like the brand voice piece is really interesting because like, are you gonna let a computer or algorithm or AI own your brand voice? Like that's usually one of the most valuable things that you have. So I would probably be more on the side of having a human being regulate it, but then assume that they're going to find efficiencies in using the tool. Like if they're establishing the voice, if they're establishing the creative, the copy, et cetera, then how do you use AI to be more efficient? But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Who knows where we're going to go with like some of the large language models and the way they can pick up tone and the way they can react to like, we were talking earlier about how you're trying to adjust for language in emails, right? If somebody wants something more conversational and your technology can react to that, why do you need a human being?
Yeah, with Bloomreach, we could set an attribute and say like this kind of person likes this type of copy or this type of picture, and so then I would like to set that, and then I could use Jinja to change the email and personalize it to what that person likes. But I need to make sure that like we're within some boundary, and then we're not always just all over the place. Like it still has to feel like living spaces. It can't feel like Urban Outfitters or something else. Anthropology, it's living spaces.
Okay, show of hands. Who uses AI once a day? Twice a day? More than twice? Who doesn't use any AI? It's kind of all over the place.
I mean, I think sometimes we use AI and we don't know it. Like I was showing her how AI
don't go meta with me. What is it? Okay, what go?
No, I mean we were talking about some of the tools that she's using in engagement that are powered by AI, and it's not something that we've communicated very much. You know, we're changing that now, obviously. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize this was powered by AI." But now it's like in the vernacular. Like now is the time to talk about it. So it's kind of exciting.
The thing that's been very interesting in balancing this is like if you told somebody, yeah, I have an AI company, this is all I do, and you're like, but my price is still X, this high value, their association of value to AI is like, well, if you, the human, aren't doing it, that's my reference point of how much I should pay you. Have you had any of these discussions of like, it's making you more efficient, but you still got to pay me my price?
I mean, you need skilled people to be able to use AI and to be able to understand the technology. So I don't think we're at a tipping point there. I'm very curious over the next 2, 3, 5 years, what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be improving with every time you do something, right? But I'm still steering it. I'm still the driver. I'm still in control. So I see the output and I change it however I need for my needs. But I mean, you can't just let it roam free. You have to be in control.
Okay, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but you're like, your boss sees you leverage AI and he's like, oh my God, she's doing so much with such a little team. And you go like, hey, by the way, I need more team. He goes, use AI.
No, he's on board. He wants to add more to my team. It's just, you know how the economy is right now. It's hard, and people aren't buying houses, so you're not buying furniture as much. And during COVID, everyone was spending, their money on furniture because they're at home all the time. But now we're out and about, so we're facing challenging times, but we're still doing really, really well compared to our competitors. We see that we're doing very, very well.
This is an interesting topic. So you put me down this path of like living spaces covers a lot of the place. So both of my couches are living spaces, and then my outdoor set is living spaces. So that's why I was like super stoked to meet you because like I definitely bought from that email. So I know that.
Nice, thank you.
When you're welcome. Or was it the AI?
It was both of us.
Okay. So when we start seeing these macro shifts, because you guys are such a big player in the space, do you kind of sit here in kind of like God mode and be like, well, everyone's buying outdoor things, it's summer. Do you start seeing this?
Oh yeah, we you know what? We have a waterfall of those 500 emails. Like there's a priority based on how it performs. So we'll move like the higher performing campaigns to the top of the waterfall so more people get it, right? So like outdoor furniture, that did really well in like May, June, July. It was at the top of the waterfall. So more people got that email than they would in a different time of year.
What's popping right now? Is it space heaters?
No space heaters. I think people are doing like more of the fireplace, like TV stands, things like that. But all kinds of furniture. I mean, the market's getting better. People are buying houses again, so we're going up again.
That's good vibes. I was like, the macro trends, because living spaces has told us it's improving. That's impressive.
You heard it from us.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Any final words, just like adoption of this stuff? Adoption of AI.
I mean, I think, like, show of hands, I was actually surprised there weren't more people using AI. I think it's not something you can necessarily avoid, and I do think that we're all using it more than we realize. So it's like something to embrace and something to understand and something to work with and instead of against, which I don't think anyone would disagree with, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to learn and see if it works for your team and how you can use it and harness the power. I mean, it can be scary, but it's very, very powerful, and if you want to grow, that's the way you got to do it.
Thank you guys. So this was awesome. I'm glad I got to talk with you guys today.
Thank you.
Awesome. That's a wrap.